Hey guys, it's Mel with the Millennial podcast. Billy is not with me today, but I am actually doing a segment with Nikki from the Hershey History Center, which you will see soon. I'm at the Fresh Market here in Hershey. A lot of millennials come here. There is Mid-State Distillery here. There's Evergreen Brewery and lots of different food vendors. It's a great spot for meeting friends, having meetings. I come here all the time, and I really wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to bridge the gap between generations, which Billy and I are going to start to do here soon on the podcast. And this gala that they do for Preservation Gala here on November 5th. I hope you guys get to learn a little bit about it with the podcast with Nikki and really appreciate the history that's in this building and also Hidden Still Distillery, where the sponsor event is going to be on November 4th. I love hanging out there too. A lot of my friends and all generations go there as well. But this is a really great start to our new podcasts and the themes that we want to connect different generations and ages and interests and educate and also just really appreciate the history from the past to the present and the future. Hey guys, it's Mel, and we are doing a podcast for the Millennial here at the Fresh Market with Nikki from the Hershey History Center. We actually just did a promotional video for them, and we wanted to share a little bit about the importance of the History Center and what the Preservation Gala is. So Nikki, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the Preservation Gala is?
So the Preservation Gala is a chance for us to celebrate properties of merit in the community that have taken special care and attention to preserve their property. And that's important because what it does is drive home the message that there's a lot of history embedded in the architecture of a community and a lot that represents for the history of a younger generation if they didn't otherwise know.
That's great, and that's why we are doing this podcast, to try to talk a little bit about the importance of millennials getting involved, not only here in Hershey with the History Center and the Preservation Gala, but everywhere. So the gala is on November 5th, and how can people get tickets and even sponsor still?
They can visit our website at hersheyhistory.org, and there's opportunities there to donate a silent auction item, bid virtually beginning November 3rd on our auction on the same website, and they can participate by becoming a sponsor or purchase an ad or make a contribution to the program. Contributing to preservation in general, it's one of the tenets of our mission and a very important cause that we bring to the community.
Have you always done, I'm just curious, the silent auction on just in person? Is this the first year that you're doing it online with the bidding, or have you done that just with COVID and a lot of other organizations too?
It is actually the second time that we've done it. COVID was the impetus, really, for us to start that. We do have a live auction component as well, and of course, participating in the event is important. We offer live tours that night, special behind-the-scenes tours. The social dining component of being here is important, but if no other way that you can contribute, it's a great way to be active and be involved in supporting the History Center.
Yeah, and a lot of the events that I've been involved in with my business went virtually, if you say, for social media for the auction, and you can pull people from outside of the area. So it's really neat that people who can't participate are on vacation or live outside of the area and they want to still donate, they can do that. So being that I've been involved with a lot of galas and all that and events, and the idea of it being a little stuffy sometimes, what do you think is really really neat, not only for us millennials, but all the generations that can enjoy this space here?
It's a fantastic way to combine generations because this is essentially the non-gala gala. No black tie. Wear what you want. You're coming to the Hershey Fresh Market. The concept isn't how you look or what you're wearing. It's about supporting an important cause that's often ignored in light of other causes in a community. But it's all about the fabric of your community and making history tangible, making it something you can go and visit. It's not something from a textbook. It's something that you physically can walk in, you can appreciate, and know that your community is better because of something called adaptive reuse, what transpired here at Hershey Fresh Market. And it's a means for other generations to come in. I mean, I'm looking at a sign at one of the vendors here, and it's talking about offering Bloody Marys and Orange Crushes.
Yeah.
What better way to bring out a younger generation than to come out, get your food, get some drinks, be social, pick your own table, and participate in ways that you define. and that's typically not a gala. So for us, we found that this is a great model, and it's spanning the generations that we're trying to reach.
Yeah, and I think it's actually neat coming out of the pandemic to be able to do things that are a little bit more creative and fun and fresh, just like the Fresh Market. So just curious too, with talking about younger generations and the Hershey History Center. I think it's really neat that you guys are having the Preservation Gala here to talk about the history here. What is the importance to the organization that younger people get involved, whether with membership or coming to the events like the Preservation Gala? Tell a little bit about that importance for younger generation.
It's almost critical for us now. I mean, our older generations and the demographic that has typically supported us over the past 3 decades, it was a generation in which membership was an important resource to contribute to the program. And now what we're finding is that membership just doesn't work. So many of us in a younger generation are busy. We don't have the time or even sometimes the funds to just dedicate solely to a membership. But we are willing to go out to an event. We are willing to participate, show up, come to a non-gala gala where we can get drinks and we can get food and we can make a plan to go with our neighbors or our friends. And that's really important because without that type of support, whether it comes from membership or events, it's critical that we receive those funds and that type of support and that type of recognition because the program needs to be sustainable. And essentially, if we don't sustain and the program doesn't continue, then that heritage and history keeping, basically record keeping, is lost.
Right, and I know that I've attended the jazz nights at the Barnyard at the Hershey History Center. Many people, my friends have gone, and I actually started going last year when you first started for July 4th. I brought a big spread, and I made all this food, and everyone thought that it was catered for the for the whole for everybody there. But those nights are really neat too because it's good for different generations to come, young and old. And I've actually brought a group of friends where we bring our drinks. It's BYOB. So are there other events like that, or what was that the goal of the jazz nights?
Yes, I will comment that your spread was very festive and it was much appreciated, but that is the whole goal, to make it very social, casual, something where everybody kind of sets their own terms, but they're still participating in history. And again, there is essentially a tangible return, whether it's the live music on our back patio, which is gorgeous and looks out on some of the oldest areas of Hershey, the original dairy church and the original factory smokestacks, whatever it is that you're getting to participate in, it's something that goes beyond the confines of something seeming dry and old and not appealing from a historical standpoint. History is all around us, and our tagline essentially has become, we are the future of your history, and the past is the future of your history. So
I love that.
It's
That's
an
great.
Important key, to recognizing that the past is all about the future.
Right. So I've loved coming to the Fresh Market since they opened. How did the Hershey History Center pick the Fresh Market as the award for the Preservation Gala?
So again, it's critical that we pick a space that's recognized for adaptive reuse, and this was the perfect partner to identify because it has food and drinks here on site. But one of the things that's really important about our model, and one of the things that we have done through the years to build the Preservation Gala, is we pick a theme from our history. So again, driving that history directly back to the event to celebrate. And what we like to do is visit the site and essentially host an event in a place you wouldn't normally consider holding a gala. Mm-hmm. We have held a gala in St. John's Church for the Italian Festival. We have been in the old trolley car barn when it is under rehab, and even before the press building was unveiled, we basically set up a gala under construction lights and tarps. And that's the whole point, is to drive it home and let you see construction is still active here, and this is the active essence of what adaptive reuse is about and preservation in your community. So you're not going out to a hotel or a convention center. You are truly getting embedded in the history here for the gala.
And I love that. Just again, I've been in so many different events that they all start to seem the same, and they all start that stuffy feel where you're cocktails, sit down dinner, dancing, go home. So this is really neat, and I love that. Also, you're going through the building while it's still in construction, and people get to see that, and maybe they, go and tell people how neat it was that they got to walk through and be a part of something here, kind of in the process before it was even done.
Yes, and by participating essentially as I mentioned earlier, it's a fundraiser. And so by doing that, you're actually investing in this building itself. You're investing in the community and all the projects that take place in the name of preservation.
So I'm going to have to cut this out because... So since we are doing the Millennial podcast, what do you really want to bring out more millennials, and what could we do as our generation to help the History Center?
Participate in events, come and volunteer if you have an opportunity. Most importantly, visit our site, the museum at 40 Northeast Drive in Hershey. It's a great place to visit. We have an event space. You can rent the space, but basically checking out our events, watching us on social media, and seeing what's available for you to participate in, and just knowing that your participation, whether it's at the gala, at the free jazz on Friday event, or just by stopping in at the museum, you're making a difference to ensure that this history is sustained for the future.
Yeah, and there's a lot of our generation that enjoy history, and I don't think a lot of people even know that the museum is there. And I think it's a really neat thing that you have the children's area. So there's people who are our age that can bring their children and walk around and play, and some of the toys there. So I think it is about awareness and just education. So hopefully this preservation gala and bringing more younger people out will also help that.
Absolutely. This is an opportunity to engage other generations and, again, start to build the future of our past, and knowing that that is coming to the forefront for our community, because once our generation has moved on, the next generation has to be responsible for that. And it's key to how we've altered our name. We used to be known as the Historical Society, and we made a key critical effort to rebrand and become the Hershey History Center, because the center is a place of vibrancy. It's a dynamic area. It's where different things take place, not just the boring old archives or the simple museum, but it's a place where people gather, they host events, and they look at things from a different perspective. And that's what we're trying to do, is be forward thinking.
Yeah, and I think you are. I mean, I've seen over the last couple years, especially with adding the space for bridal showers and birthday parties. I did invitations for a bridal shower that was there for a client. So I have seen that effort, and it's really happening. On the outside, it's noticeable. So I think that's neat too. And your social media, branding that. It sounds that it's keeping up with the times, like you said, bringing things to the present, and I think you guys are doing a great job from what I see too. So, well, thank you, Nikki, for yelling with me today. Can you tell everybody what social media and website so that they can get tickets for the gala still and follow you on social media?
Absolutely. You can visit hersheyhistory.org and connect with us there, and our social media icons are right on the website. You can link to those on the site.
Awesome. Well, everybody go get your tickets for the Preservation Gala, and we'll see you here November 5th at the Fresh Market.
Hi, I'm Nikki Soliday, the Executive Director of the Hershey History Center. We're at the Hershey Fresh Market, where we will be holding our Annual Preservation Gala on November 5th. We're looking to celebrate preservation as we have done for over 25 years. This year, the Fresh Market will be the feature of our award program. We will be hosting an event that will have a silent auction, live auction, private tours of the building, social dining, and so much more. We are honoring the Hershey Fresh Market as the former abattoir, a building that was built in 1936 in a series of improvement buildings throughout the town of Hershey to help the burgeoning town as it addressed the needs for the employees of the factory. And this building supplied basically the resources for meat products, and it was essentially a derelict building, something that was left to the wayside. It served as a post office at one point in time, but was recently vacant. And so because it's been adapted for reuse, as opposed to engaging in a new footprint or tearing down the building, building something new, our theme this year is reduce, reuse, and recycle, a concept that many only know is something related to trash or waste components. But in adaptive reuse and in the world of preservation, it's a very important concept. In an ever-growing green world and carbon reduction world, this is an important concept in which you drive home reuse of a building, and structurally rehabilitating can add lots of value and also bring the community in to respect the history of its community. This year's gala is going to involve social dining. As we've evolved through the years of our annual event, we wanted to construct a model that would basically be a non-gala gala, the anti-black tie, if you will, something that's social, fun, and appropriate for all ages. That adds a great vibrancy to the community, bringing the community out. This is a fundraiser that supports our programming for preservation in the community. And so by coming out and supporting us, not only do you get a great night out, enjoying all the opportunities in the fresh market, including drinks, food, and options that are available at your choice, but you can sit anywhere you want, you can walk anywhere you want, and you can wear whatever you want. So this is a perfect opportunity for even families to come out, support the History Center, and also support preservation in the community. There's so much that you can partake in at the Hershey Fresh Market. Other ways to participate and donate is by becoming a sponsor for the Hershey History Center's Annual Preservation Gala. We will be celebrating our sponsor reception for those coming in at $750 above on Friday, November the 4th at Hidden Still Distillery. Yet another recipient of this year's Annual Preservation Award. The Hidden Still Distillery was once the extraction plant, place where they processed the residuals from the Hershey factory and turned it into cocoa butter soap. For anybody that's been in the community for a long time, they'd recognize that product. It is now a gem of the community where dining and social gathering occurs, where it would otherwise have been lost. This year's silent auction will be virtual beginning on Thursday, November the 3rd. So even if you can't make the gala, you can certainly participate. Check us out and find out more information on purchasing tickets and other ways to contribute by visiting hersheyhistory.org.